Well, so this here is the all-new Hyundai Venue IMT in its sport trim. Yes, this is the new version of the car, the new spec of the car. And this car, as you can see from the outside, gets some details in red right here above the front fender, as well as the top, and also some red at the back, which shows you its sporty pretensions. Now, what also shows its sporty pretension is the fact that this car comes with a 1 litre turbocharged petrol engine, and you also get an automatic. Yes, this is a new kind of automatic. It's an IMT gearbox, which means that you don't get a clutch, but you still have to change gears manually. So is this the car which will get a wider buyer audience into the Hyundai Venue family, or is this something which is only for the enthusiast, or something for the very niche market? We'll find that out by the end of this video review. Planning to buy any spare part for your vehicle, you should check out budmo.com. You can also download the app. It's available for both Android as well as iOS devices. And the best point about Budmo is the fact that they offer you the most extensive spare parts catalog across all segments of cars. And another good point is that they offer you the same spare part from a host of different manufacturers, different component makers, which means that you get various pricings and price points, which means the flexibility in terms of pricing is greatly enhanced, and you can choose the spare part according to your budget. Now, if you don't like the spare part, you can also send it back within 10 days, and of course, Budmo will return all your money to you if the part is returned within the 10-day limit. Now, Budmo are the online experts when it comes to spare parts, and they offer you doorstep delivery without any issues whatsoever. They offer you genuine spare parts and the best pricing as well. Well, trim inside the cabin of the IMT now, and this, of course, remember, is the sport trim. It's a new trim that Hyundai have launched. So what's so new about it? Well, in terms of design, it's the same, but the big change, of course, is that the steering wheel boast now comes with the steering of the Creta, the bigger Creta. It's still flat bottom, but it's nicer and much better to grip than the earlier version of the car. You also get a lot of red all across the cabin. So there's red for the AC controls, there's red for the AC vents, there's red stitching over here, red stitching on the gear lever. All this red, of course, does lend a sporty touch to the cabin. In terms of the equipment, this car has always been the leader, and it's no different. You get wireless charging for your mobile phone, BlueLink app, which makes it a connected car, cool glove box, and also what you like about this car is the fact that the seats are very good in terms of the overall support and cushioning. Now, the regular version of the Venue, I've always said that the cushioning and the support for lower back should have been better, and on this version, the support is better. It's more hard, and the padding also seems to be firmer. So on those long highway trips, you will definitely feel better support for your lower back. So overall, in essence, what I'm trying to say is that this cabin feels like a nice place to be in, and if you're spending this kind of cash, you will really enjoy the experience. It's different from the usual and definitely gives this car a nice and sporty touch. Now, if you want to know about the backseat experience and the boot space and all those things, you can check out my English video review of this car. I'll put the link in the description box below, and of course, I'll put the link in the I button as well. Now let's get straight to the driving bits and find out how the IMT version of the Venue is to drive. Well, so here I am driving the Hyundai IMT. Now, the IMT full form stands for International Manual Transmission. No, it's not International Manual Transmission, it's Intelligent Manual Transmission. I was just trying and seeing if you're paying attention or not. Of course you are. So the big deal, of course, on this car is that there's no clutch, but of course you can change gears like a proper manual car, and that's a good thing. But some of you might be thinking right now that what happens if I forget to change a gear? What happens if I brake suddenly and I come to a standstill? There's a signal, and an auto rickshaw just stopped in front of me. Well, if you do that, like I'm driving right now, and of course if you're in a top gear, maybe you're in the 5th gear or in the 6th gear, then if you do, of course, decide to put your foot down on the brake and suddenly come to a stop without realizing what's happening in which gear you're in, like I am now 20, now 15, now 10, now crawling at about 5, then the car will remind you that it's time to shift gears, and of course you can put it into 2nd or put it into 1st, and you'll be back on the road. So it's a gearbox which is very intelligent. It's a car which is intelligent, and of course it's a 6-speed gearbox, just like the other version of the car on the turbo. So that means that flexibility of this engine is greatly enhanced. When you're on the highway doing speeds in excess of 100 kph, the engine is at around 2000 rpm, 2100 rpm, which makes the cabin a nice and quiet place to be in, and really does ensure that you're sitting in a quiet and very refined car. Now this car, remember, comes with a 1-liter turbocharged engine which makes about 120 bhp. And 120 bhp makes this the most powerful engine in this compact SUV segment. And not only is it the most powerful engine, it's also the most peppiest engine because it starts responding from a very low RPM of about 1400 1500 RPM, which makes it a very good car for driving in the city. And because it doesn't have a clutch, you also don't have the hassle of consistently using your left leg, so you're not so tired like you are in a regular manual version. But of course you can shift gears manually, and the gearbox is a very delightful one to use because the throws are very narrow. Even though they're narrow, they're light and they're very sporty throws, and they also have a very accurate action to them, so you'll never find yourself in the wrong gear. You'll never find yourself putting it into third and slotting it into fifth by mistake. So it's a good gearbox in that sense as well. The steering wheel also is nice. As you can see, the Bose has been replaced. It now gets the steering Bose of the Creta, and it gets the same flat bottom steering wheel as the Creta, and that's a good thing because it's a nice steering to grip. What you like about the steering, of course, is the fact that it's a light steering wheel, so you can easily twirl it around with your little finger. Of course, that's something I will not recommend, but I'm just trying to make a point here, so don't do it on the road and say that I've done it, so I'm doing it as well. What you will like is that even though it's light, it's pretty accurate. And if you take this car onto faster corners, if you decide to push it onto those bends of those hilly sections, you will not be disappointed because the grip length from the tires is good, the body roll is well under control, the steering is very accurate, so you know exactly what the tires are doing, and it's just a fun car to take up on those highway trips, or even take it up that bendy section of the hills. So that's something which is enjoyable. What you'll also like, of course, is the fact that if you're driving this car and driving it up hard on the highway, it comes with a 6-speed gearbox. So as I said, the flexibility is greatly enhanced, and the engine is very quiet. As I said, it's a 3-cylinder engine, it's not a 4-cylinder engine, but even then, when you're revving it hard, you'll never notice any kind of noise or buzz coming into the cabin. The refinement levels are actually so good. Don't think that I'm saying all this because Hyundai has paid me money, because I'm not. You can check it out for yourself at a Hyundai dealership. Now, talking about the ride comfort of this car, the ride comfort really is very good. It's got the right balance between comfort as well as agility. When you take it on those badly patched up roads, those broken pieces of tarmac, this car will really hold itself well and won't let anything come inside the cabin. And if you, of course, decide to push it into corners, even then the comfort levels are very good. On the highway, it feels very stable. In the city, it offers you good comfort and soaks in most of the bumps quite well without too much fuss. So overall, Hyundai has done a very good job. The Hyundai engineers have done a very good job, and I'm very impressed with this car's overall driving dynamics, its ease of operation, its hassle-free nature, as well as its light controls. And I have to say that if I had to give a score from 100, I will give the Hyundai Venue IMT Automatic a strong score of 92. It really is the best of all worlds. If you consider yourself a keen driver, this is a good car for you because you get the turbocharged engine, which is the most powerful. If you call yourself someone who doesn't really care about driving but wants the hassle-free nature of an automatic, even then it's a good car for you because it is an automatic. And of course, if you want to have an automatic but you don't want to let the gas change automatically, then also it's a good car. And of course, if you don't want an automatic, you want a manual but don't really want the hassle of a clutch, even then it's a good car. So essentially, what I'm trying to say is that it's a mix of everything, and it's the best of all worlds combined. 92 out of 100. Well, so overall, the IMT version of the car really is the best of all worlds. It comes with the best engine in this segment, which is the 1-liter turbocharged petrol, and it's a great car for keen drivers because of that engine. But that's not all, because you get automatic, but you still need to shift gears. So it's good for those people who consider themselves keen drivers but want the hassle-free nature of an automatic but still want to have some control over the gearbox. So that's something which this car offers. And also, this particular version, the sport version of the car, really does look the part. It looks very stylish on the outside because of those minor details and some changes on the exterior. And what I'm essentially trying to say is that if you're in the market for a compact SUV and you want everything in it, then the Venue IMT is the one to go for. This is one of the best compact SUVs, if not the best compact SUV in this segment, and I'll give it a strong score of 92 out of 100 and a double thumbs up from my side. It's bye for now, and thanks for watching.